Imperfection is the perfect reflection in the myriad mirrors of space-time, time-space. Fragments and facets for our bug-eyed beings to churn into nectar for the universal banquet, the feast that is awareness. From the prime mind wandering the woods to the prime mind growing through digital conformity towards the reals of telepathy without cell phones, telekinesis without intermediary slaves, machines, or robots. The quest for peace runs upon acceptance of all pieces of your mind. My mind, the glorious and devastating totality of being, unabashed and free, omnidirectional, omni-emotional, as energy ripples and rolls from, through, and to us. Tranquil omnipotence of being completely in accordance to the music of the spheres requires no control. For you cannot control dancing to the beat of cosmic algorithm and spiraling, drumming the heart from love into exaltation, meditation, deliverance. Fuck what a world where you can get totally messed up and downtrodden because you take on the hero's quest, the search for the holy grail of being, the essence of existence, the miracle that is. I mean, it's like you should apologize if you feel that watching football ain't the answer and today's fashion is as dull or worse as yesteryear's. Like you're to blame for your visions and burning passions not fitting into a 9-to-5. Made to feel like you're no use and therefore waste if the puzzle pieces of your cosmology fall out of the box you're deemed to fit yourself into. Like you don't earn respect, food, shelter, and understanding for risking your mental, physical, and emotional health and well-being. Hell, your very survival, in search of the fire flux in the icy night, the teeming waters of wisdom in desert oasis, the brick on the head satori, the metaform of greater being that is the prophet's tale and the heretic's truth, the naked core of religion and divine humanity, the throbbing snake we ride into orgaspace, the pinnacle of power cannot but leave you powerless to pursue anything other than undivided being, and therefore in this global capitalist craze you seem condemned to poverty or creating a cult. Start acting the guru and make them pay just to be in the same room with you, allowing them to make you the focal point of their dreams and aspirations, their North Star and Southern Cross, their spirit lover and guiding hand, their mentor and thus slave to their need for attention, affection, correction, encouragement, and discord. Be an open-faced spiritualist and blame not yourself for their nightmares and hyperventilations, their compass errors in the dead of night, their hates, hang-ups, and finger-twisting stupidity, nor their stone-cut mentality and dominant masochism to stay immersed in routines and ruts, a disregard for needs and overemphasis on haves and wants, and that insane, crazy, dumb-witted sense of competition, that hate-inspiring idea of putting anyone else down to get up higher. The one reason society is so slow in improvement and so morosely inefficient, paranoid, and skin-deep aggressive is that we waste so much effort on negative self-reinforcement, saying I'm good because they're bad, I'm smart if I can treat you like a dumbass. Fuck off! The fun of being high-ranking is kicking the low around a bit. So great trotting on your values, your ideas, your self-respect. Disgusting waste of human resource in a scorch that makes many lives a daily hell in so fucking many ways. Competition within a species that functions in groups is counterproductive, counterintuitive, evolutionary unsound. The basic survival urge to add our skills to a larger being, the they, the us, the group, in order to outgrow our needs beyond the level of sustenance, but rather to a continued improvement of circumstance and well-being, stands in shrill contrast to this relentless chicken race to the highest stick in the henhouse just to be shitting on all below and have no one shitting on you. And so to me, the societal codes of armored suits of fashion and leased war horses on wheels, the buttocks-faced charades and shambles, all look like a pile of crap. People wading through shit and frantically trying to wipe themselves clean with toilet emotions and calendar wisdom. I see such voids and lonely souls within, and it makes me shiver. Don't tell me about competition being inherent in nature. Look at the apes, they say, the lions, tra-la-la-la, blah blah. So we spend tens of thousands of years getting from a prime mind on a floating log to an astronaut in space. Such a distance that frankly comparing ourselves to any other species as an excuse and argument for questionable behavior is simply ludicrous, outrageous, and self-insulting. Such is my urge to write that I'm actually penning this by flashlight. On board again in the dead of night, that is forever the high noon of inspiration to so many artists. Why? I remember this piece now, it's pretty fucking good. But anyway, oh hey, this is my traveling book shop. Anyway. On board again in the dead of night, that is forever the high noon of inspiration to so many artists. Why? Because then thought space is quiet, and the emotional wavelengths calm and rhythmic with the sleep of thousands. To put it bluntly, the time where prime minds can breed, because all you insufferable babbling pig-headed ants are sleeping. I'm all for living 24/7. Let shops, pubs and restaurants run around the clock just like the factories and divide the workload into 4 6-hour shifts. Biggest boost in stress relief any economy could have. Any investment in facilitating consumption will benefit from a continuous flow rather than one hampered by business hours, because when the shop's closed it's not making any money but it's still costing. Since all investment is then unfettered and in constant possibility of profit. Simply adding hours to the clock opens up new possibilities to do away with rush hours and rat racing, allowing for an optimization of crowd flow and life content both on an individual and a group level. How outrageous is it that people, millions of people worldwide, need to enslave themselves to sleeping pills for dinner and uppers for breakfast just to fit to the daytime dogma? We, the sleepless, are the descendants of the night watchers, the cat-eyed fire-keeping guardians of your ancestral sleepers, the stargazers and navigators, the predator-defying shadow-facing artists in the dark, that since the dawn of our kind stood watch over you, day-stalking dreamers, you sun-slaves of the noon, you that fear the night yet hide in the dark, you lizards on the rock of ages, and we stand watch forevermore, so respect! And to you fellow night owls out there, the star jugglers, you lunatics and blue-hour poets, you graveyard shifters and breakfast bakers, you paper van delivery drivers, barmen, whores and watchmen, you nurses, coroners and backbeat cops, you there, lying reading this at 5 a.m. or listening to us, make a stand, come out of the coffin. Claim the right to your biorhythm like the gays, lesbian, trans, and triple genders did their right to sexual orientation. Claim the right to your own biorhythm, your natural you. Schedule your waves and ripples, your high and low moments of the day and night, instead of splitting your time like logs of dead wood. We count the nights 'cause days are without danger. One thing that sets the German language aside, though I presume there must be more, is that to them the sun is female and the moon male. O goddess sun, I'll be your mirror man. Let me sail through the night sky and deliver the world safely into the hands of a new dawn. There are more humans now than ever before. It's like everything we kill comes back to haunt us in human form. Creating a world overfilled with bipeds, two-legged needs, wants, greeds, and passions for anything and everything. Where so many lead totally eventless lives, days and nights, a mere 70-year loop of routine and nothing more. So many ready and content to be a face in the crowd like trees in the forest or fish in a school. A fan of the greatest common denominator. An adept of ill-conceived normalities, fearing the boss and the beast within, shunning the wonders of the world and existence itself, like human crops of working class and laborers, ready for daily harvest on the factory floor, working with machines that were meant to alleviate them from their task, not condemn them to poverty routines, so they could grow, not wither in the unemployment line. So many more that can't even aspire to working class and live in the social wastelands, the bracken sewers full of toxic despair and dim-lit corridors of squatted detritus that are within the bowels of every city, where lack of passion and constructive routines lead people to an early grave, a drug-induced rigor addictus. Junkies die post-mortem. Souls long lost in a greed for oblivion. Half the world is starving for its rightful existence. Animals being chased from their habitat because we decided to move in. It's like blowing up the neighbor's house so you can build a bigger patio. Species driven to the brink of extinction by a senseless, purposeless mass of people, of which half is also starving while the other half plays at anorexia, bulimia, morbid obesity, because they can't handle the overproduction drive that's blowing up economic engines worldwide. It's like driving on choke the whole time. Ever revolution, not linear growth. Horizontal connectivity, not hierarchic dogma, befrauding all good intent. Not this tyranny of consensus keeping the status quo over a boxed-in populace, unheard and misread, statistically abused and scientifically stigmatized, religiously dogmatized and financially tied down. Hooray for a free connectivity on a web of worlds where ideas grow through sharing, where opinions flock together to make fists of petitions, likes and comments, where the library is open 24/7, where you can surf data waves and float your log canoe through rivers of information, rippling with old and new news, a place where you can go or log into and post your ideas about anything, deposit them and get a little in return. For adding them to the global mind, the data bank of random thought, adding ideas from around the world into any functionality, from technical engineering and ecology to housing, arts, social science and practice, and to consequently adapt to the most sustainable and overall beneficial strategy, technique and line of thought, diverse as they will ever be, merging philosophies, religions and belief systems with economics, barter systems, natural cycles and recycles, biorhythms and worldwide diversity, into a crucible that over time distills a more global and essential view on life, a wider understanding of who we are at a base level, that like groundwater permeates us all to a certain level no matter what or who or where we are at the surface. A shared knowledge leads to a quicker pace in adaptation than any top-down hierarchic approach, a near anonymous yet noticeable contribution to the multiplying stream of life in any aspect, rather than an ordained existence without parole, as determined person in a specific capacity and regardless of the essential flow of your personal life. And everybody watches what everybody does out of interest and social responsiveness, rather than peeking through the curtains to watch the neighbors be wrong or the slaves misbehave. Man, there's so much sex on the web, we must be a species of frustrated pervies, voyeurs and mudfuckers. Anyway, I don't know. I am just a tormented soul that makes something fucking beautiful once in a while and figured one night, stop talking to yourself. Write this shit down. Show them the neuro firecrackers like a flame-spitting dragon, and drag them from the brink of insanity, the dawn of humanity, to the here and now and the great beyond. And this book don't know anything either, other than it's done. Born to be read. Proud to be dirty. And all yours, baby!